one of the biggest signs of strength within a man is his ability to walk away and his ability to allow people to walk away from his life. You see, a man who is secure and confident about himself, about how he carries himself, he has standards, he has boundaries, does not get upset when people choose to leave his life. Or he does not get upset when he has to enforce those boundaries and kick some people out of his life. Because he understands that the most important thing above all else is his peace and how he looks at himself. You see, the reality is a man that allows people to walk all over him and disrespect him can never experience that same peace. He can never look in the mirror every night before he's about to go to bed and confidently say that he is a man deserving of respect. Because he doesn't respect himself. Because he allows people to walk all over him. And he allows people to treat him poorly. He's not brave enough to enforce the boundaries. And that's a miserable existence that a lot of men are experiencing right now. They have friends, sometimes even family, who will consistently disrespect them. Name-calling, mockery, sometimes in front of other people, reputation destruction. But they have no backbone, so they don't call it out. And down the line, if this goes unchecked for too long, this can become a miserable, miserable existence. A really miserable existence. And look, when I was a bit younger, before I understood this stuff, before I understood the importance of standing up for yourself and instilling healthy and normal boundaries, I found myself in that predicament. I had friends, or people that I thought were friends at the time, who really weren't my friends. And they were, taking the mickey, which is an expression in English for, a little bit of mocking, a little bit of mockery, which, to some degree is healthy. It's important to have some banter, but they were always taking it too far. They were getting really personal. And they enjoyed, making me feel miserable. And sometimes they'd even do that in front of other people. And look, when I was a younger guy, as I said, I didn't understand this. I didn't understand the importance of, ensuring that the people around you are being respectful towards you. Ensuring that they genuinely want the best for you. And I learned that growing up. I learned that it's very important to look out for these things, but a lot of guys haven't. And I want you to ask yourself, look, do you have people like that in your environment right now? Are there friends, and I say that in quotation marks for you guys that are listening, that you've got that are making you feel bad? Are there friends that you've got that are disrespecting you consistently, name-calling? Maybe even doing that in front of other people. Maybe they are, enjoying certain moments in your life that are difficult. Maybe you're going through a tough time and they're mocking you, they're laughing at you. You tell them a bit of bad news and the first thing that they do is smile. Now they might try and cover it and hide it and make out that they didn't, but you got to look out for these small signs. When you're sat talking with somebody, do they have a little glimmer in their eye when you share some bad news? When you share something unfortunate that's going on in your life? If they do, then this is something to look out for, because that is an indication that subtly that person doesn't want to see you do well. In fact, possibly even the opposite. That person wants you to do bad. And if you allow people like that to be in your life, more people just like that will come. You will invite people like that. These serpent-like humans. And look, I want to make a distinction between banter, having a laugh between mates, particularly us guys. It is healthy, when you're with your friends, that there's a little bit of mickey taking, a little bit of banter, a little bit of joking. You don't have to be serious all the time. You can have a laugh, you can be a bit goofy with your boys sometimes. But I want you to look out for those guys that you're not sure about. They always seem to take it too far. They always seem to get really, really personal. The second you've got bad news, they're happy. And if, over the coming weeks, you notice some of these patterns, I want you to cut them off. Because at some point or another, they are going to try and work against you. If they haven't already, if they're not trying already, at some point or another, if there's an opportunity for them to step on you, take something from you, maybe even damage your reputation slightly, they'll take it. And it's just not worth having those people in your life. You've got to ask yourself, what value do they bring? You've got to ask yourself, how do they make you feel? And if 99% of the time they make you feel like crap and they make you feel unsupported, then you need to be more ruthless. You need to hold higher standards. You want it to be that in an ideal world, your friends are sad when you have sad news. Your friends sit in the mud with you. And what that means is, when you are down and in the dumps, they sit down with you. And they feel your pain with you. Now, you don't want friends that just sulk with you and don't do anything other than that. You want friends that, get in the mud with you, but also pull you out of the mud. And you're going to do that for them as well. It's a reciprocal thing. You want a friend to be sympathetic to the problems going on in your life, but also a friend who's going to say, come on, man, get your ass up. It's time to go to the gym. Come on, man. Stop being lazy. Yeah, she broke up with you, but that was 2 weeks ago. Crack on. You've not done anything since. Let's go. We're climbing a mountain today. It's the weekend. We have time. Let's go. Pack your things. They're the type of friends you need. And if you don't have that, you probably need to reassess your current group. And going forward, you need to be more selective. You've really got to ask yourself, is this person going to add value to my life? And if not, then, don't waste your time. And again, it's reciprocal. It's not all about taking. You must give value as well. You must make their life better. But you got to stop being so simplistic and unprepared in your selection criteria. The people that you have in your life will make you or break you. If you're around miserable people, you're going to be miserable. If you're around jealous people, you're going to be jealous. Human psychology and all the studies that have been done tell you that essentially you are a product of your environment. There's exceptions and there's strong-minded people, but if you live with 10 smokers, the chances are you're probably going to smoke, and you do well not to. So why do we forget this when it comes to friends and influences and surroundings and the people that we have in our environment? No. You must be willing to get the wrong people out of your life. And look, what I wanted to talk about as well within this video is the importance of allowing people to leave as well. A man who's truly secure in himself, he does not beg. If somebody doesn't see your worth and you are doing everything that you can to be a supportive friend and you are doing everything that you can to be a good friend and they still don't see your worth, let them go. Let them go. You've got to allow people to go and see if the grass is greener on the other side. They don't value your time. They don't value you. They don't respect you. Okay, off you go. The door's open. You must have an open door policy with your life, with your friends. And look, sometimes even with family. Now, I say your immediate family, your close family, you should always try and and be on good terms. But look, sometimes we have, bad luck with family. Some guys maybe watching this channel right now have terrible relationships with their family because their family mistreat them. You can't accept it, even from family. So if you've got an uncle who is always rude and disrespectful to you, if there's times that you're seeing him that aren't necessary, then take them away. Make it so that you only see him when it's absolutely necessary. This can be the same with cousins, and unfortunately for some people, it's going to be their mum and dad and their brothers and sisters. That's a sad reality. It's sad that, guys are having that experience with their family, but at the same time, it doesn't make a difference. Friends, family, you can't allow people to make your life terrible. So you got to distance yourself from people. And in the right instances as well, allow people to walk away. This doesn't just have to be friends and family, it can be girls. If she's threatening you, saying that she's going to leave, that she's going to, go and do her own thing, sweet. Shut the door on your way out. No problem at all. You got to have an open door policy. Because look guys, chasing doesn't help. When you're chasing something, it's running away from you. And at the same time, all you're doing is losing the respect of the other person. You look desperate. You look really, really desperate when you are begging somebody to stay in your life. It's not a position of strength. It's not a sign of security within yourself. And you pick this up as well. Subconsciously, after a while, you will start to feel weak and desperate and vulnerable. And they are not feelings that you need. They are not feelings that are going to serve you well. So it's really important, despite maybe your inclination to save relationships, to be the guy who solves all the problems, who solves everybody else's problems and, fixes things. Sometimes you have to fight against your very nature and let go and hold the door open, allow people to go. At some point or another, when you keep climbing and you keep doing the things that you are doing, there is going to be a day where they look back and wish that they had never left. But you're never going to be the one that got away. This can be in a romantic sense, but also a friendship. It can also be a relationship with a family member. But you're never going to be the one that got away if you are chasing and begging them to stay in your life. Don't give people that power. You got to have an open door policy. Let them go. Just ask them to shut the door on the way out. Got to have more self-respect. You really do. Because if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect anybody else to respect you? Now look, there's times to be forgiving. The one caveat I'm going to make in this video is that, look, sometimes people make mistakes. Sometimes maybe people have information about you that's not entirely valuable, or valid rather, and they make a decision to distance themselves from you on the basis of that information. And it later comes to light that it was wrong information. They may want to come back into your life. It's up to you what you do with that. But what I would say is, look, sometimes people make mistakes. And it's not always black and white. But when you just know that somebody doesn't appreciate you and they don't respect you, let them go. Never chase. This can be family, this can be friends, this can be women. Okay? And look, on the flip side, if somebody's actively disrespecting you and somebody's actively treating you like shit and making you feel bad about yourself, making you question yourself, always laughing when things don't go your way, something to look out for. Look out for the glimmer in the eye, guys, okay? And the little smile that they always try and cover up. But if somebody's doing these things to you, you need to get them out of your life and you need to enforce those boundaries. And that is the very basics. Very, very basics. If you don't respect yourself, nobody's going to respect you. And that starts by instilling these very basic, fundamental, and healthy boundaries. This is healthy, no matter what mainstream media, news, whatever, this article, that article want to tell you. It is healthy to enforce boundaries. It's become a sort of political thing. I don't know why. But, you know, a lot of people don't follow this. A lot of friendships are just boundaryless. Relationships are boundaryless. They speak to each other so disrespectfully. They're basically trying to humiliate their friends or humiliate their partner. There's no rules, and, you know, a man who wants peace doesn't live by that. It's very healthy to establish some clear boundaries, because we've got to speak to each other respectfully. Otherwise, you know, we're just living like intelligent animals. You know, a big brain, but almost no capacity to use it. Okay, so start enforcing those boundaries, and look, if you are not valued by somebody and they want to go, you let them go, and you hold the door open and tell them to shut it on the way out. Anyway guys, look, if you took some value from this video today, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to my channel for much more from me, and comment your thoughts down below. If you want to work with me on a one-to-one basis for some one-to-one coaching, I have a link down below in the description of this video. Simply click on the link and you can book yourself a free 30-minute call with me to see if we're a good match and I can help you going forward. And also guys, there is a Discord link in the description of this video too. Now this Discord is absolutely free. It's full of, I think, 45 plus guys in there right now who are making great progress both personally and professionally. We've got some guys that are aspiring entrepreneurs. We've got some guys that are starting their self-improvement journey. We've got some guys that are doing some really good things in there. So if you want to join a community full of like-minded people, and you want to speak with people about your issues, speak with people about your struggles, or speak with people about your wins, click the link down below in the description of this video and join. Anyway guys, as always, thank you for your time and your attention, and I'll see you in the next one.